Well, John didn't come tonight, did he?
No, I haven't seen him.
Yo, no.
John Young?
Don't see
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Haven't
John.
seen him.
He's been pretty good. I didn't talk to him in a few days either. He's over at my house, I saw him Saturday. He's over at my house
Mine the
Let's see what we got here. I don't even know what kind of blade he got on there.
It would help making the lens cover. Right.
That would help. That would help.
It says it's too dark, I go, well, yeah, it is. Open the cover.
Who else got one of these things? I know Johnny said he does.
What's that?
I just got the handle part.
You got the handle?
I got the handle.
You saving up for the rest of it?
Yeah.
Being West, you know, he bought the Rockler and he kept having trouble with it. They said it's just way too much trouble for him.
I don't cut tapers on purpose, so.
Yeah. That's how you fix mistakes. That's what tapering came in because somebody made a mistake.
Yeah.
Alright. I can do that without safely cutting off a hand. And
That's right.
and that's it. Everybody
Any
get
questions?
that? Want to see it again?
Who brought the refreshments?
Am I missing anything then?
Where's John?
I'm just kind of, I'm doing this on you know how you do two sides. You cut one, turn it 90 degrees, cut the second one, and on this one I'm doing 1 degree just for fun. And then after those first two, you'll move it to 2 degrees. You double it, and then do 3 and 4 because of the material you've removed.
And number them. You always get mixed up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely number them.
I try to remember to turn it clockwise,
Well, that's whatever system works.
and then when I do that, I go, "Did I turn that
I
clockwise?"
slid one through there one time and went, damn, that didn't cut a thing off.
As long as you got all the fingers, you're still good. I don't have an ear protection, but you stick your fingers in your ears. You want to try to see if we can turn it on. Put a new blade on mine. That sucker's quiet. Okay,
Turn it, pull it out.
turn it either way.
Got a safety stop.
Yeah. That takes a little bit. Anybody else have a Powermatic like this?
Yeah.
You do?
Mine goes a little older.
Supposedly with
About 4
federal law now
years
that
older.
when you shut it off, that blade has to stop in 3 seconds. I had a little more than 3 on that one.
They love my bandsaw. 45.
All right, I did it clockwise, and then we'll do it again. Now,
Yeah, zero gap looks like you.
move this to 2 degrees, doubling it. and do the next two.
You taking all four sides?
I'd taper all four sides, yes. I would pick it up and show you those two, but then I'd forget where I picked it up.
No. And you don't move the fence, you leave it all.
Leave the fence, yeah. Yeah, and when I was working on those, I moved the fence a quarter of an inch, which took away the quarter of an inch you get by doubling it, so.
It engaged a lot higher.
All right, and one more time, we'll have all four sides.
Well, because the other side is 1 degree.
So when you go to the third turn,
If you want to do 8, you just do the same thing again, do all 4, and it'll take these sharp corners off, like that one. And like Johnny was talking about, if you want to come down to a smaller foot, you just do a bigger degree. Go 2 and 4 instead of 1 and 2.
Well, and you can also line it up with what I did because I didn't know the angle.
This,
You can line it up with your miter gauge gap,
yeah.
like the length of the leg that I was working with. I wanted to take off half the diameter. So I just lined it up, basically eyeballed it and lined it up with the miter gauge, and then moved my
Jig,
the taper jig over to match it, and then I knew that I could double it when
Yeah.
I flipped it on the third.
so if you start out with 2.5 inch or something like this, and you want just 1 inch at the base,
Right, I was looking for something at the base.
and that's what Tommy
Didn't know
Mack
what the
did.
angle was,
He
didn't-
put it up here and he drew his line, and then you line the line up with this for your straight edge,
Right.
you know,
Set your angle.
and then set it. And you can just ignore the settings on this thing, just set it to fit the cut to the line.
And it works too, if you wanna leave, I left the top 4 inches or 5 inches.
Yeah,
Flat.
Oh, yeah.
You can move your fence over and get it right where the saw starts, right at your line.
that's what this
Then run your
was.
tape.
I measured down 8 inches,
Right,
and you get your blade to engage at that mark
at that part,
and come down.
that's
Well,
right.
that's what that did. The first
You
two
leave,
cuts
you leave the
engaged-
top part,
engaged down here, the second 2 cuts engaged up here.
Yeah, where it caught.
I mean, you can tell by the cutoffs. The first 2 cutoffs
Or
were
thicker, or shorter.
Or shorter. Yeah, they engaged down here,
Right.
and the second 2 cuts
We're up
engaged
there.
there. Is that,
Why did you do that?
yeah,
No. But that's the gist of it, yes.
Why did the first 2 start a little ways down?
I doubled it and then went in at the angle, so the angle would have to be the same, wouldn't it?
get rid of it. It depends on if there's any play.
So here's the side you were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't square exactly, it would have to do that too, right?
Yeah, but I think it was. I think it had it square. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think it's square because the first 2 are almost identical, the second
Yeah.
2 are almost identical.
And the next 2 started, and that's what he was saying. If you make your line and then put your line at the beginning of the tooth right there. That's where it should engage each time. And then cut that angle.
Have you tried doing the taper with a joiner?
Yes, I did one where I only tapered two sides, and to me that was quicker and easier with the joiner, because you put this line, you make you a line on the joiner, and then you shove in up to the line and stop, turn your joiner off, and then you take it, well, you do the 90 degrees, do it again, and then you take it and flip it this way, and when you push down on it, it's cocked up, say, and then you shove it through your joiner, and it will engage, and then take it off that way. So you'll end up with a tapered one or two sides, which is quick and easy on the joiner. And like Johnny said, you can do all that with this thing, or cut 45 degrees and,
You just use a draw knife.
or chainsaw.
Or we can take off that.
Depending on what kind of wood you're using.
Right. If it's basswood, that's not a problem.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That's really neat.
Yeah.
And the same thing works if you wanna take, give me that back. Instead of doing like he did a router, you can tilt your blade to 45 and run it right back through there again, move your fence over, and you can take this edge off, flip it, take that edge off. You can do the same thing and put a nice little small flat spot.
You make an 8-sided cut.
Yeah, make an 8-sided cut
And
just by tilting your blade.
this was not square. Had it been square, when I went to the router table to do the flutes, they would have come out in the same spots. But since it was not square, it hit here and it hit here, see? But the fluting just adds that little bit of decoration, and I just picked middle ways, you know, for look. When I did the final table, after doing, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these, I finally got around to the final
That's what you
table
learn.
and did those 4, and I got them to come out right, which looked pretty good. John was by that day I did those legs, and they did come out to an octagon down there, you know, so just right. Now the little sycamore table I did, I only did 4 sides, and I dadoed in for decoration, and that made a little bit bigger foot, but that's the way I left it, you know, with the sharp sides. I thought that looked good on that wood. I usually go in with no plan. And
Shoot from the hip.
yeah.
And stick to your plan.
Yeah, that's what, I'm not a woodworker, I'm an artist. Artists don't paint, etch a sketch, you know?
Right.
That's my excuse anyway.
I'll tell you when I finish what I am.
Yeah, that's right. Or what it is. Anybody else want to try it? You can take this and do a little bit deeper angle and take a shot at it.
I wanna see it. Pass it around.
Of course, I did that, but thinking 36 inch, so that angle would have come down, you'd have had smaller foot, say, by the time you got down here. This I was playing around with, I brought it just for fun. Cutting the blocks on the bandsaw and separating them, putting them back together inside out.
That looks like fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun,
That looks like fun.
yeah. Because you don't know, it's like an Easter egg, you don't know what you got till you open it up.
See you guys.
You almost need an in-feed table. You know, if you set up for the in-feed, if you're way back here.
Or, yeah, you gotta extend the fence.
Yeah, to come in like that. 'Cause with those even I had trouble because you're out to here, you know, trying to start it and hold it all in place.
Like
Try to keep that wood fence.
Yeah, I mean, I did it, but it just took some doing. Where, y'all ever see that guy Izzy Swan?
Yep.
You know, he's made one. He invented an in-feed where it sticks on here and it clamps,
Yeah.
so you can have stuff like that.
You
So
just
you
put
can-
an extension on your fence.
Yeah, have an
that's what I'm saying,
extension
and
this
then
way.
Table, yeah.
I've got,
I've got that Beesmeyer fence, and you can set a little piece of wood up there, and you can put some stands out there. I've had to do that too. And you can kinda set your wood right up on top of that fence, and run you a stand out there behind it. And, yeah, give you a runner.
I guess if, I was trying to figure out how to do that. I got a little roller stand, but it needed to be right here where I was.
Yeah.
Getting in your way when
Yeah,
you get close,
yeah.
yeah.
I set right on top of that, and I've got it just the right height between here and there. And it just sits right up on top of that.
It clamps on or?
No, it's a piece of board I've got, and it just sits right here. And it's only about that wide,
Oh, okay.
and it's for doing that long stuff like that. And it's pretty damn flat, but it just lays right on top of that rail.
Yeah,
And I got a pipe stand back here that I just set it on, and adjusts the height,
yeah.
and then I can
They got it where you can
I
stand
can
to
set
the,
to the side and do it.
you stand to this side of it? and-
Yeah,
and-
I end up standing to that side most
Yeah,
of the time.
do that,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that
I
would
can
work.
cross over it, but it's still
Now,
better than me doing it left-handed. I don't do that.
they've got memory stops, so